will be going live, and today we'll be talking about the Patente B. Given that I came out here to tell you how I was feeling during the preparation for the examination, eventually got it done, and yeah, we'll be talking all about that today. How are you doing? Where are you joining from? Are you preparing for your Patente B? How is everything going? You can say hi in the chat. And here we are live. Oh my goodness, it's been like forever. I've been super busy. Life has been lifing. It's been very stressful over here. And one of my coping mechanisms is to come on live when I'm going through it. I'm at that stage where things beyond my power is happening because I have zero control, and when I lose control, I am not myself. So this, I got into things that I was not ready for. If I had the opportunity, I would have picked one and leave the other, because that's how I do my thing. I start something, I finish it, and I move on to the next. But these ones are just opportunities that came at the same time. And if I say I'm not going to do this one, it means that opportunity is ciao. So I just had to do everything at the same time, and it's taking a toll on me. But yeah, we move. If this is your first time seeing me, my name is Gloria, and yeah, I'm a Nigerian. I live in Italy. I've been in Italy for a while. I know a thing or two on this channel. I try to share tips. Oh, I need to come close to the mic. I try to share tips that will help you enjoy your stay in LA. I hope everyone is doing good. Like, how are you preparing for the whole Christmas thing? Even amidst my stress, I'm still decorating, because my own decoration takes a long time. Not because I'm slow, but because I have a lot of space to decorate, and my people are always looking at me like, when are you starting? When are you starting? Like, since October, my husband was like, this year, if I say this our Christmas tree will not be up very soon. I'm like, okay, Christmas is my thing. Why are you pushing me to put up the Christmas tree? And that's because I tend to put up my Christmas tree very early, and he is already set with his gifts, and it's like, where is the Christmas tree? So I had to put up the Christmas tree, because I don't know how or where life would take me to during this season, because as I said, I have a lot going on at the same time. So that has been things that I have been up to concerning Christmas over at your end. How is it going? How is it going? The last time I was live, we were talking about the Patente, and I was talking about the examination, my preparation, and I was giving advice on how to prepare for the examination. And then I remember saying, you might be like, who are you to tell us how to prepare for examination? You will never pass examination. Are you going to come out and tell us how we're going to pass the examination? Well, good news. I wrote the examination the 2nd of September, and yeah, it was a success. But we'll talk all about that in this video. So today is the 23rd of November 2025, and we will be talking about the update on the Patente B examination. So there were some things I didn't talk about in the last video, like I didn't dwell on. And that's because I just did not feel like talking too much about that part. But talking to friends has made me realize that this is a normal when you are registered to a driving school. This is like a normal. They force you to do things. They force you to go and write the examination. It's time you are ready. And people end up writing the examination, especially here in Italy. I don't know how it is in other parts of the world. They write the examination, and most times people don't get the result they want. Yeah. So in Italy, you register to a driving school, you do your subscription. You have 6 months to write the examination and pass the examination. Now, and you have, I think you have 2 chances, if I'm not mistaken, to write and pass within 6 months. So you have 6 months to prepare. In my case, a lot of things affected my studying, and that's the language barrier, the school that I chose, that was gifted to me, the school that was gifted to me. And how did this play out? Now, the school that was chosen for me really like messed things up. Not because they are not good, but because of their pattern. And I feel like, okay, just hear me out. So this school, I was going to the class virtually because it was far from me. So there's the option to join classes virtually. And when I joined, like, going to class was like gibberish. Not that I don't understand Italian, but the thing was just like going over my head. It was going over my head. When you are used to listening or studying in a certain language, and the next thing you are dumped in a class and they're speaking totally different language, or you are watching a movie in a different language. You know that sensation? Yeah, that was what I was feeling. And over time it passed, and I was happy about that. Like, I was able to like follow, and that strange feeling left. But the thing now was the pace at which this person was introducing topics. For an Italian speaker, this is fine, because if you like making slow pass snail, you can always pick your material to study, because you can always find a way to study. But in my case, I was counting on classes to like pass this examination, and this man was just, his pace was just so slow for me. So I needed to take the bull by the horn. I started waking up very early, because that was when my brain is like cold enough to like take in everything that I was studying. So I wake up, try to study. It was still very heavy. I was slow, but I understood better because I was able to sit down, do research, and understand the topic, and do tests and get a decent result. So I was working with 2 different slow paced systems. So it went on like that, and I was shouting. I was telling my owner, Oga, I don't think I can pass this examination. I do not think I can pass this examination, because I'm slow with studying. The person teaching, it could take like a week or two to cover a chapter. We have 25 chapters to cover in this material. If we continue like this, how many chapters are we going to do? Sometimes it will take 3 weeks to talk about a chapter. And if he was saying something different, or we were doing quiz at the end of each session, okay, but it was redundant. And Yeah, I remember complaining. I tried joining TikTok live sessions. It was not just it for me. So I started hating the process of studying, and I felt like, you know what, I'm not going to be able to do this thing. I can't. I can't. I tried studying in English, and that was a disaster, like total disaster. Thank God, very early in that phase, I stopped it because, yeah, I knew this is not going to work like this. No, it's not just going to work. Yeah, so in my search for options, God just dropped something on my lap. So I use this app called Guida Evi. I use it for doing quiz, and I was using Guida Evi. Then there's always this pop up that will say subscribe for the premium Guida Evi. Subscribe for the premium Guida Evi for €9.90. Now I subscribed to this after, like, I just got fed up. When you do quiz on Guida Evi and you fail certain questions, there is the option to like get a video correction, which is sweet for me. But anytime I click on getting this correction, it will tell me to reach out to my school to unblock this system for me. So because my school is connected to Guidaiva, I reached out to them, and I was like, I reached out to my teacher through the app. I would like for you to unblock this thing for me. It's the I paid, so you can as well unblock everything for me. And this person did not unblock anything. He didn't unblock my this option for me. And one day, this pop-up came up, and it was like, get the full package with Guida Evi, and I subscribed. And yeah, at that point, I registered in another driving school, meaning I was registered in two different driving schools. On my Guida Evi app, I was removed from the original school that I was registered in and placed in Guida Evi driving school, which led me to downloading NATE, and I started joining another class because this premium version comes with the option of joining live classes on Zoom provided by Guida Evi. And in this school, you have different teachers. So think of it as you want to buy tomato, and on the street you have 20 people, exaggerated, 10 people selling tomatoes. So you have the option to buy from whoever you want. There were a lot of teachers, and you have the option to join any class you want. So how it works is that this teacher will start the material from chapter 1 to chapter 25, then they'll start again. So it was rolling my pace. So I started joining classes. Initially, I joined all the classes to feel the teachers, to see the one I liked. And yeah, I remember liking Lorena a lot. Bolita, as time became just too much, move on to the next. And then I found this guy called Francesco in the app, and I was loving it because I am this person that study to understand it. So if you like, turn the question upside down, now your business. As far as say I don't understand the topic, I can answer the question. So I was understanding his style of teaching, but this guy was still now doing extra, and the extra I was doing is giving us tricks. Like, if you see this one and this one in the same sentence, the answer is 100% false. If you see this one and this one in this context, like all those simple tricks, oh my God, my life changed at that moment. Now studying became my jam. I really um loved his style of teaching, so I stuck to that teacher. And yeah, I was going. So think of it as the school I was originally registered to, where in chapter, maybe they've done like 4 chapters, and I was already in like chapter 8 because of my pace. So if he's teaching this, I can join another class for the next. And since I was not enjoying it, they have the option to like replay, which was really nice for me, because if I'm not able to join him live, I can always go to the archive and grab myself a lesson by him on the topic I desire. And I started seeing that I was improving. And what something that was amazing with this system is that after each chapter, they now give you tests that you have to do, like tests. You know that the ministeriale exam is like 30 questions is, so they will give you a set of around 3 to 7 questions of 30 questions each. So at the end of the day, after that topic, or the topic has been tackled, you'll be doing around 150 to 210 test questions. Amazing. And you know, doing it over and over and over and again, you get used to it. And once you see the question, you are able to like answer the question, coupled with the fact that I now have access to video corrections. I was like really glad. So this was going on, and out of the blue, the driving school I was going to reached out to my husband. I was like, the owner of the school was like, he's not able to track my progress. And I was like, dun dun dun. Because I didn't give a about their assessment. The only thing I cared about at that point is that don't take Guida Evi away from me. I do not care. Do not take Guida Evi away from me. So, and my husband was like, why is it that he cannot see your assessment? I'm like, you see, I joined another driving school, and I joined this driving school because I was not getting what I wanted. Excuse me, I need to address something. I was not getting what I wanted from, oh my goodness, I think I have to mute for now, and I'll be back in a jiffy. I was like, yes, I registered with another school because, yeah, I needed to like get real value so I can actually write and pass an examination. So he was like, check the school you are registered to. So my app, I checked the school I was registered to, and I found out that, oh, I'm not registered to that school anymore. I'm not registered to Guida Evi. So as a result, the man cannot see my progress, because once you are registered with Guida Evi, if the school is registered with Guida Evi, there's a way that they can do it. They do a connection where the teacher can actually see your progress through his own thingy. So he was not able to see it, and that made him worried. So my husband told him that, yeah, I did a subscription, and this automatically removed me from his school. This man came to my house. He came to my house, and he was like, he wanted to see what the issue was. And he got there, he went through my app and found that I was not registered with him. Then he started doing everything to make sure that I'm connected back to his school. And I was telling my husband, no, I want my Guida Evi Premium. Everything can go. I don't care. Let everything go. I want my Guida Evi Premium. So he was there. He asked me to call customer care. I called customer care, and they were not replying. I was so excited, because normally once I reach out to them, they're going to call me back. I was so excited. He was like, okay, he was going to call them, and I'm like, shh, go away. Before he left, talk. Before he left, they called me back, and he spoke to them, and they said, okay, they are going to like transfer me back to his school. Oh my God, I was so sad. And I was very like, you know what? I'm going to register with another phone number. No wahala. Then he left. When he left, I went on to Guida Evi app, checked it, and I saw that I still had the premium plan. The only thing is that the school I was registered to had changed. So at this point, Guida Evi cannot see my progress, but he can see my progress. But I still had access to the premium perks of this app, and I was happy. So when he came and they did the transfer, he left. Then he called my husband when he now had access to my stats. I'm like, let me see. No, that's not happened. While he was on my phone, he said he wanted to see like my stats on my phone, and he saw my average score. And he's see my average score. He said, "You are ready to write the examination." I'm like, what? He said, yes, your average is very, very good. You are ready to write the examination. At that point, I've covered around 12 to, let's say 12 to 18 chapters. I've covered 12 to 18 chapters of the material, and he said I was ready to write the examination because of my average and the performance he saw on my app. And I said no. I was like, he said you're good to go, you can write the examination, you're doing well. No. Then I told my husband, this is based on 12 to 15 chapters. The full material is 25 chapters. So you are judging me based on half of the material, and you want me to go and write the exam? I said, oh God, no, I'm not writing. Everybody thought, I said, no, I'm not writing. He said, at that point, I think I had just 2 months to the examination. No, 2.5 months. He wanted to fix exam for me. I said, no. I said, fix exam for me for September, October, late September. Everybody talk. I say, no, I don't know what I do. I'm not ready to write any examination. But God pushed me to go fail. So he left. Then they got back to me that they fixed the examination for September, the 2nd of September, which was good for me. Now I have a date. I have something I have to work towards. Now I have a reason to study more, because now that I know I have options, like I can study with Guida Evi and the thing is entering, I was a bit lazy. And it's not that I was lazy. If you are doing Patente, you should know that sometimes you just don't feel like picking the material. Sometimes you don't want to see the material. Neither do you want to get anybody talk to you about driving. Shut up and move away. No, I don't want that. So I went through that a lot, moments when I didn't want to study, and it affected my pace also. So at that period, I told him, okay, I'm going to just give me time. I'm going to work towards preparing for the examination. But that 25 chapters, I got to cover it. So while this was going on, I started working really hard, going for classes back to back, waking up early, watching this Francesco guy's videos to study for materials. So what I do is like study for materials. Then I was thinking of this. I was deciding how I want to write this examination, if I want to use the audio guide or I want to read the question. I made that decision. I was just preparing, and over time I found that my ministeriale average started skyrocketing. So how I did it quiz was that based on every topic I do tests back to back, and in a day I'll do 1 or 2 ministeriale tests, no more than that. So it was going. Then I got to the 25th chapter and started doing ministeriale tests back to back. and I found that I started averaging 70, 80, 90, 100%. That means sometimes I feel like maximum I failed in that period was like 4, 3, 2, 1 or nothing. And I was surprised. Like when I finished doing the test, I'm like, did I guess these answers? Like, how did I know that this is like it was now a part and parcel of me, and I was just passing it back to back, and it like passing it made me worry. It was a strange feeling every time I was with headache because I was overdoing it, and this brings me to what I advised my girlfriend recently. She writes down her scores, and she sent it to me, and I told her, you see those ones that you are going below the target, it's because you are overdoing it. Calm down. Let's do it like this: breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Do it 3 times a day. The ministeriale, do it 3 times a day. The other ones, do them, just do them. But the ministeriale, do it 3 times a day so you don't get overwhelmed. So at the end of the day, you'll be able to give yourself an average for the day. So today's average is 30%, 100%. Today's average is 90%, like that. If not, if you do 10 ministerially tests in a day, means you're answering 300 questions in a day. In as much as it will get you familiar to some questions, you get overwhelmed and you just start missing things, and you asking yourself, how did I fail this question? I know the answer to this question. Why did I fail it? It's because you're doing it so much and you're stressing your brain. During that period, I found that my brain was very hot most of the time. I was just, tired. Prepare for the examination, and I eventually got to write the examination. I was worried. I was really worried for that examination. So as at the time I wrote this examination, I had completed 85% of the quiz questions. So I had answered 6,065 quiz questions out of 7,105 of the total questions, and it was not bad. At 85%, I was good to go. I've almost answered the full content, the full questions in the test examination, so I felt ready. So my advice to you is, don't let anybody push you. Do not let anybody push you. If you feel like it will get out of your power and they're just going to fix examination for you. It happened to me, but we'll get there. Don't register to driving school yet. Keep studying until when you feel like you're ready to write the examination or go and write it. You need control. You need to feel, at least for me, I needed control. I needed to feel confident about writing the examination, because the one who will pay me pass me say, I don't pay all the necessary money, close to 700-800 euros, and I'll fit the examination. How? Please, no. So this would really break my heart if that will happen. So I knew I needed to stand my ground on when I wanted to and how I wanted to write the examination. So the examination fixed, I told them I want to listen. I needed the opportunity to listen to the questions, so I paid extra to get the audio assistant, and that's because my system of studying at home is what I wanted to adapt on the examination, of doing quiz at home is what I wanted to adapt on the examination date. So how I do mine is I answer the questions using the audio. I found that using the audio, I'm able to answer that 30 questions within 10 to 15 minutes. So half of the time, I've answered all the questions. Then what? I go back. Then I start reading it. I calm down, I read the questions. Sometimes I find errors I've made. Sometimes everything is good. And this has saved me several times that I knew that this is the system I wanted to use to write the examination. So now that you are studying, start asking yourself how you want to use to write the examination. What is the system you want to adapt to write the final examination? Knowing this will help you a lot. It will guide you. And yeah, it's part of the preparation process. So writing the examination on the 2nd of September was like a huge risk, because at this point I must pass the examination. Remember, I said you have 6 months to prepare for the examination. You get 2 chances. Now, if I fail September's exam, it means I have just 1 month, and if there's no date within that 1 month, it means my money don't lawa chow. So what I did was prepare like my life depended on it, because there's money at stake, and not small money. So I went for the examination. The day before the examination was like mad. I was so stressed, anxious, thinking of the possibility of failing. Like, overstressed, they worry me. I was worried. And I thank God for the amazing people around me. Like, reached out and like, hey, go babes, you go pass, no worry. I had this very lovely church member came over to the house to play a mini concert, and she played the piano forte, like my favorite song. I need to go see herself. Like, it was so fun, and I just thank God for everybody. I remember my father-in-law went, Forza, you will pass. Don't preoccupare. He said he had faith in me. My husband was like, you, now book, you go pass out. I was like, these people have so much faith in me, and I have zero faith in myself. Like, everybody was just, my close circle, they were hyping me. They were like, we know you can do it. As fast in our book, you can do it. It was not easy. I remember getting a lot of gifts to cheer me up, outings to prepare me, because at this point and I'm this person that I wear my problem on me. Like, when I'm going through it or something is stressing me, I won't be able to like concentrate on my life. Like, for instance, look at my nails. I've not been able to think about that one. I'll go around like a crazy person in the house. I wear my trouble. So at that period, I was really, 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 really down. And it got to a point, especially towards the end, I was now like eating to close that void, to like console me. It was very emotional. So like, I was using food to console myself. It was crazy. I don't know what it is. I didn't used to be like this. I'm this person that used to enter examination all with confidence. But now, the older I get, I find myself worrying a lot. I don't know what it is. I don't know. So, on the examination day, if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see my story where I shared what's going on that day. And let me read from the caption on that video of the pictures. I said, everything that could possibly go wrong has, which was true. So the day before, my husband came down with something, which meant that he could not drive me to the venue. And the cars at home, my father-in-law could not handle any one of them. He could not handle any one of them. So we needed to get someone to drop me in the venue. So we called this amazing support of the family. He helps us around. I was I was just hoping that he's available, because if he's available, he will show up. So we called him, asked if he can render his services to get me to the venue. He was like, fine. So he came, he picked me, and my father-in-law came with me. It's my party. How will he not come with me? He came with me, and he was like, Forza, Forza. When we got to the venue, there was already a bus waiting for us. So we joined the bus. There were a lot of students, so we joined the bus. I'm not even done with everything that went wrong. Let me finish. So, yeah, that day of the examination, it rained like cat and dog, and it was a blue day. Everywhere was like, it was blue. I felt blue emotionally, and it was one of those cloudy days, like those days like you just want to hide. But I had to move, so I got to the venue. I joined the bus, and on our way, to the examination venue, I was there thinking of the possibility of failing the examination. I was wallowing, like it was just so heavy, and all of a sudden I just had and the driver was like, oh, sorry. I was so angry that I cussed him out. You know, when you out of the blue, someone just scared you, and like the worst of it will come. I cussed him out. Like everybody would like gasp, but I was the one that cussed him out. Like what the hell? Look at where you are going to. Imagine you, they carry us go somewhere. This man almost hit the come si chiama isole traffico, the raised one, before he like quickly moved the steering to the place that he's supposed to be going. Now that I drive, I understand that. I don't understand. But like, wait till you they look. Wait till you they look. Sometimes things like this happen, but for you to be that close to it and now have to do an emergency turn, what are you looking at? There are people in the vehicle, for God's sake. And don't be saying that now you start to drive. You have been a driver for a very long time. So what are we doing here? So this I did something wrong. So this was going on, and we got to the venue. The guy was very apologetic. I took my bag, and I also took some books. I don't even know what I was doing with the book. Like, say I can do magic. But I eventually left the book outside. We got into the venue, where there was a waiting area. We sat in the waiting area. An examination was already going on. So think of it as a waiting area that we're seated. Then there's this big glass that demarcates. Half is like bricks, then the top is like glass. So the glass place was like, the glass was this kind of glass that obscures, so I can't see what's going on inside. The person inside cannot see what's going on outside. But there's this very thin stripe on the glass that you can actually see what's going on. So you have to squint. And I was looking as if that the same question they will ask us. I was so restless. And eventually, those people completed their examination, and we went inside for our examination. We're asked to drop our bags. I think we had to take our phones with us. We just have to have it in silent. I can't remember the logistics anymore, but we had our phones with us. We did all the necessary things. They talked about the rules. They gave us our headphone. Those people that paid for headphones. and we started the examination. First things first, the examination is not how I thought it was going to be, because a day before, no, 2 days before, the owner of the school I was registered to sent me like a demo of what the examination will look like, and I saw the board demo. I was like, what the heck is this? You know, watch. It felt like watching a movie in black and white. It was terrible. The user experience is zero. Like, it's one of those websites that you don't want to sit down and navigate through because it's not user friendly. The demo is sent to us on how the examination will go felt like something that would be very, very heavy. And I was like, oh my goodness. But when we got there, it was totally different. The system was different. So it was a monitor right in front of us. Nothing else. Nothing else. It's touch screen, so you have the option to pick the answers. I like that a lot. I like the touch screen aspect. It just felt like I was working on my phone. It didn't feel like an outdated examination system like what they sent to me as demo. So we went on with the whole thing. I did what I'd always done at home, listened to the questions, and within 9 minutes and 45 seconds, I was done with the first round. Then I went on for the second round, started reading again, and there were these 2 questions that were giving me problem. I wasn't sure. I changed the answers numerous times for these questions, and this particular one, there's the vocabulary word that I did not know. Not that I did not know, I did not remember the meaning. And oh my goodness, I was trying so hard to remember. I settled for answers for these 2 questions, and I went back again and continued. I had the chance to go over it 30 times, but those 2 questions, I wasn't sure about the response I gave. Now, I was doing this. People were writing the examination, they were going out, they were doing right, go out, right, go out, right, go out. And no rush, I sat down. I waited till my 30 minutes was up, and I went out. By the way, the personnel were very respectful. The supervisor, like the head, the guy handled, very respectful, very kind. Yeah, that was very nice. And I got out of the examination. The head of the driving school that I was going to was there. One of the drivers were there. I sat by his side. I was there waiting for my results, because what my girlfriend told me was that after the examination you have to wait outside and they'll come and give you a result. I was there like waiting, and he asked me how was it. I was like, I smiled. And the driver, I don't know who put his mouth in the matter, and he said, ready, mama fata gnocchi or fatto gnocchi. It's modo di dire in Italiano, like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it, but be happy. It literally means rejoice. Mommy has made gnocchi. Gnocchi is an Italian delicacy. Like, in that context, it made sense, but I was not having it. Don't talk to me. I just finished writing an examination I've been preparing for a month. So shut up. I rolled my eyes and just minded my business when they said, it's time to go back to the school. School? Why are we going back to school? I want my results. Which school? School what? Results is what I'm waiting for. I don't have time for that. And it was like, you'll get your results in the school. I was very disappointed. So you mean to tell me that after all this stress I've gone through mentally, I'll have to wait for you to come and give me an examination? When results don't come out, I just have to wait till I will wait. They were like, no, they will take us back to school. So they packed all of us, so they took us back to school. On our way back to school, the driver that was taking us, let's say this is where we are supposed to be going to, and this is another road. This man was going, the next thing, it was like, And said, "Oh, sorry, I was going home. I was. It was a joke, but I was not having it. Don't play with me. I'm not playing with you. Shut the fuck up and get me to my. Oh my goodness, I just cursed. Get me to my destination. I want my result. I don't have time for all of these jokes. You are going to your house. Who are you carrying to your house? Please take me to the school. I want my result." So when I got on our way to the school center, I dropped my thoughts, which was on my what's it called, on my IG story. So I said, "So exam done, results nowhere to be found. Going back to school to wait for the results, ridiculous." And that was how I felt. Others got theirs immediately. So yes, those people who were not registered to a driving school got their result immediately. So they had to wait and collect the result directly from the center. Those with driving school will wait until our driving school gets back to us. That was not funny. I didn't find that funny. So when I got back to the center, we waited and waited. Remember I said it rained. Now it stopped raining. It's now very cold and windy. And nothing. Zero. Nobody. We waited. The school was closed. We had to wait for these people. We were waiting, nothing. So I dropped another story saying the waiting game. So at my old age, I know I can't take breeze for body now. I went to a bar. I didn't take breakfast that morning. I just needed something to calm me down. It was already almost noon, and I eat lunch by 12 p.m. on the dot. That's my routine. But yes, it's almost 12. I've not had breakfast. My head was hurting. I was so anxious. So I said, let me take something. So I sat in a bar and I sat there for around 45 minutes watching other students scattered around the school, but nobody came out with our results. The school was closed. The people that were supposed to bring the results did not bring the result. So while waiting there in the bar, my ride arrived. So I just went home. Now, anything at that point that they needed to say to me, they will have to say it through phone. I am so disgusted, and that was how I felt. I waited anxiously to write this exam, and now I have to wait anxiously to get my result. This is ridiculous. I was so mad. I was so mad. So that day, nothing. So I started waiting. I was so anxious. Like, my heart was so heavy. Everybody could tell. I said I wear my problems on my face. And we're like, "Hey, waiting, madam, calm down. You passed the examination. Don't worry. Calm down." I say, oh boy. My husband at that point knew that telling me everything will be fine would not be the solution. It has to be him supporting me and saying, like, that's actually ridiculous. Because it was ridiculous. What the hell? Anyways, the next day came, nothing. Lunch period came. No, it was in the morning. I was still very nervous. I can't remember what time specific. No, is it the next day? I don't think it's the next. I can't remember very well. I think it's the next day. I can't remember when. It wasn't the next day. I think I'm exaggerating. It wasn't the next day. Very late in that day. I remember when I plugged my phone and I was on my husband's leg, and we were just chatting. It was asking me like the details. So I was explaining everything, like the build up, how we got there, the drivers and everything. And we're talking, and his phone rang, and I stood up to check how my phone was doing. Then I turned. He was talking to the person on the phone. It was like I turned. I checked when I checked. He was off the phone, and I turned to him, and his face was so pale and sad. I was like, what happened? What's wrong here? And I was like, at this point, I remember the exam. I was like, oh my God, I failed. And I was like, you passed. I was like, I was so mad at him. Like, I was so angry and irritated. I was like, what is wrong with you? And he hugged me, and I was so happy. Like, I passed the examination. I was so happy. And I shared that too on my story. So if you're not following me yet on Instagram and TikTok, please do well to do just that. It was a lot. It was a lot. Now, this was going on. Let's see. This was going on, and let me see. Give me a moment. I will be back. So the next stage is me now going for practicals, right? Back, I'm here. First, we started calling the people we needed to call, those people that were of great support. I I reached out to them. Everybody was very happy. We knew you could do it. Like, even to the point I passed the examination, I just could not believe it, because it was like I was I don't know. It was everything was just blurry to me. It was very, very different. It's one thing for you to study in a language you understand, and then you start studying in a language that you are not very strong in, and there's terminologies that you find there that are specific to what you are doing will kind of throw you off. But I would say just keep showing up for yourself. As my husband told me, this is a very important stage in an adult's life. So yes, be present and try to do it to the best of your ability, and not passing or um, getting the results you want should not stop you from trying again. In as much as the cost of trying again is will double soon. So yes, do your best, and as I mentioned earlier, don't let anybody force you to write when you are not ready. Write the examination when you feel ready. Don't let anybody tell you when it will be. No, you write it when you feel ready. And that would be my advice. So yeah, the good news is that I eventually passed the examination, moving on to doing the practical part, which I did not know was going to be tough. Okay, so I talked about not having strong Italian. Yes, I can study, I can follow discussions. The receptive skills I am good at, but the productive skill, not so much, or not. Let me, on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say I'm in three. Um, when I went for Terza Media, I was very good. I was one of the top in my class. My result was fantastic. But after Terza Media, I went to a teaching, like teachers training for teaching English. And this took like 2 years, because I was doing courses back to back to back to back. So after CELTA, it didn't even start with CELTA. I started with TEFL. Then from TEFL, I moved on to CELTA. From CELTA, I did IHCYLT. From IHCYLT, I did TO, TEO, that's Teaching English Online. Then from there, I did Google's AI training for teachers, which I've not completed, because at that point I was like, stop, it's just too much. So I was in English so much that I started to forget my Italian. And in my house, I speak just English with my husband. My father-in-law, I speak Italian with him, but we are not. As long as I understand him and I can give him a response, that's enough for him. So nobody was pushing me to write. Most of my girlfriends or my friends, everybody is doing their own thing. So my Italian really dropped, and producing the language became very, very, very difficult for me. So in this practice stage, I needed to be able to follow conversations. I needed also to produce the language. I didn't know it was going to be this difficult. So I went on to book my first class, registered for to start the training with the manual car. So my teacher, this big man, very big, he had beards, he tied his beards with rubber band, and the first time I met him, it was like snobby. Oh, okay. I didn't really care because I'm just there to learn and find my way. Aside that, before I even move on to the practice, can you believe that the man that said I should go and write the exam when I was not ready? When I passed the examination, you know what he said? He said, you see, I told you she was ready to write the examination. You told me 2.5 months before I wrote the examination I was ready to write the examination. What the fuck? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? So my husband was like, you see, I said, don't give him credit. I was so mad. I've been shouting at everybody when they said that. You see, he was right. He was not right anything. He was not right anything. I stood my ground, and I did things my way, and that's why I was able to pass the examination. Because to the point that of the examination, this man was not able to cover the full 25 chapters of the material. I covered that by myself. I'm taking credit for that. If anybody give anybody else credit, I'm going to fight people. I was so mad. But yeah, it was like, you see, she passed the examination. I told you she was ready. Shut up. Anyways, I went for my first class with this man. The first try, it allowed me to drive. Now, my history with driving, I think that's very important. So it gives like a background. Now, in Nigeria, a lot of things have happened to me with cars. So I have this relationship with cars. I'm in my 30s. I'm 33. I am no longer that young girl that wants to like do very adventurous thing. Now I fear consequences. Then I really did not care about consequences. And those things that happened then scarred me in a way that affects my now. So the first one was one time I was traveling for a cousin's wedding. We're going to Port Harcourt from Lagos, and I was at the back of the bus with my uncle's wife. I slept off, I dozed off, and I woke up because my legs were like, was hitting the chair before us, the row before us violently, and my neck was like bumping, and I had to wake up. And that was when I saw that, I heard everybody screaming. Ah! The next thing, the car left the lane, the carriageway, entered the middle of the road, which is like a piece of land that he drove through, and was heading to the other lane, which was the vehicles were coming from the other side. So this vehicle is going to the north, and the other vehicle is going to the south, and he was heading for that place, and everybody was screaming. A trailer was coming. Oh my god. And the next thing I heard was boom, and the vehicle stopped. People came down. Everybody were praising God. The woman that was in front, like something poked her everywhere, blood. We came down from the vehicle, we picked our bag. It was in Aba that this happened. I came down, me and my auntie were there, we're standing on the road. Jesus Christ, I just could not tell. Like, I was lost. When I and my auntie was there, this vehicle stopped for us, and he was waiting to give us lift. My auntie was there. I don't know what she was going through, but I held her hand and told her that let's go. And we went, and this person dropped us in. He dropped us in Port Harcourt, if I was not mistaken, or he dropped us in Aba bus station. I can't remember. It was very long. This really scarred me. And after that, we did the wedding. We went back home. For the longest time, I was scared to travel. That was happening, and that left. And one day, another one happened. My mom used to own a bar, and so that day we were closed from the bar. I used to, after secondary school, I started helping her in the bar, and we were closed that evening. It was in the Lagos airport. That's where the bar was located. So we closed that evening. So from after work, we'll have to cross the road to get to the other side of the road, where we'll get a bus that will take us to where we are going to. So we were at the bus stop. My mom held my hand, and she held my hand, and we crossed. We were about to reaching the Salvagente, which is the stripe in the middle of the road where the people can wait, like on a safe spot before crossing or getting a bus. We were about getting there, and I was hearing like a car struggling to brake, and the next thing I had was boom. I was pushed, and when I turned, I saw my mom bouncing on the floor like a basketball, and this car went. I remember vividly what she was wearing. To put this in, like, to give more color to the story, think of my mom as a big woman. She's fleshy. She's a big woman. So imagine a car hitting her, and I can see her flying in the air and bum 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 bum, like bouncing on the floor. Jesus Christ. I crossed. I was screaming. People came. They took her. They were like, which hospital? The first hospital that came to my mind was the hospital where I was born, that was close to that area, because at that point we no longer live in that area. So we rushed her there. We got her there. They checked her. So that was another thing that scarred me. Then it came time. I started working again. I was looking to get a vehicle then when I was working, or the person I was seeing there was looking to get me a vehicle. So I needed to learn to drive. Looked for driving school, nothing. So this friend or this person said, you know what, let me teach you with my car. Now the question is, where are we going to learn to drive? So he took me to airports again. There's this area where it's like free space. Let me learn to drive there. So we're driving. It was not a smooth road. It was a very crooked road, and we're driving. You can feel the road, but I was moving, and it was telling me what to do, and I was driving. And all of a sudden, he said, drive what? Drive where? He said, drive. And I just kept driving. I just kept pressing the accelerator because it was an automatic car. He was telling me to drive. I was scared. I was shaking. What happened was that where we were learning is a property of FAN, which was the federal... What is the meaning of FAN? Let me see. FAN, Nigeria. I can't remember. Federal Airport Authorities of Nigeria. Yeah. So it was their property, and we were practicing there. So they were coming to like tow the vehicles, arrest us. They will take the car, then we'll have to pay a huge sum because we didn't have what's it called, authorization. How are we, like how were we to know? Like the place was not barricaded. It's not that we broke something to enter. It was like a free land, and like Jesus Christ, we were running. I was driving. I was very. At a point, I gave them so much space. I remember the road is very crooked. I gave them so much space that I had to stop the car. I stopped the car. He came out from the other side. I jumped to the passenger seat and he took over the steering and just like ran away. So that was another thing, like that left a scar. Then another time, my uncle was like, after that period, I did not bother to learn to like at that period. No, I didn't want to learn anymore. So after a period, something came up again that I needed to learn to drive. Um, this time it was a manual vehicle that I must learn to drive, and I was learning. My uncle's friend was teaching me. My uncle, I remember that Saturday, my uncle said his friend was coming. He's already paid for the services for him to come and teach me and my other cousin, but it was my turn, and we were like doing it. This man was just like no structure, and I was very scared. It allowed me drive on the express. I was very scared. We were in the cartoon. I was very scared. I remember entering the streets. There were children everywhere. They were running from one place to another. That scared the shit out of me. I was so worried. Like, yeah. So that left a bad taste in my mouth, and I didn't even bother anymore. So fast forward to now. It's been all the story like 10 to 12 years ago happened then. So now I'm an adult, and like I now fear consequences. I'm not willing to take those risks anymore, and now I need to learn to like do this thing, which is not my nature anymore. It was never my nature, but it's not something I was looking forward to, or handling the machine itself. So yeah, we went on. It was not a very good beginning. Yes, it was productive, but I didn't feel myself. And I remember at this junction, it was like turn, and I was turning, but the car was going somewhere else, and I just left the steering. I'm done. And the man was like, no, cosa sta facendo? And eventually he came around and he explained it properly. And my response to him was always, mm, mm, mm. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I am not the most patient person, and if I give you a response and you make me feel stupid, I will lash out. Like so, was my response, and we're doing it, and we had the next class, I started warming up to him, I started warming back to me, and it became fun. I was like, Gloria, you are killing the grasses, stay on the road, and we were doing that. And at that moment, I just felt, you know what? I don't want to drive an automatic car. I don't want to drive a manual car. I want to learn to drive with an automatic vehicle. And I told my husband, and my husband was like, are you sure? I was like, my car is already automatic. Why am I learning with manual? I know if I learn with automatic, I will not be able to drive the manual vehicle, but it's okay. It's not that bad. I'll just stick with my automatic vehicle, and if I need to learn the manual in the future, I'll learn it. I just want to get this thing and get it over it. So we went to the driving school and told them of my decision to drive or stick with an automatic vehicle. which the owner of the school did not take very lightly. He was like, no, 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 drive the manual car. I was like, no, I'm driving automatic. I want automatic. It's like, he was like, he was just saying everything to stop me from making my own decision. I said, now automatic, I won't learn. Why are you forcing me to do manual? I don't want manual anymore. I want automatic. And I was like, I'm the one that will teach you automatic. I'm like, okay. Currently, I'm not chanced because I'm teaching some people how to drive the motorbike. Okay, but I want automatic. And I was like, okay. Then what I had to do now was like to learn with the vehicle at home, because my vehicle is actually automatic, so I can now drive my car. So my husband started teaching me at home with my car. But before we left, they told us that the Folia Rosa that they gave to me is to drive an automatic, a manual car. So with that Folia Rosa, I can't drive an automatic car. I have to tender that Folia Rosa and wait for them to approve me to drive an automatic car. So I was waiting for a new Folia Rosa to be able to drive an automatic car, and that was going to take a while. And I've already paid for like 3 classes with my instructor, the one I was talking about earlier. So I was like, okay, I'm going to wait. They were like, how are you going to do with the 3 classes? The person that's supposed to take you is not available, but you've already booked for it. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to drive with him. I enjoy driving with him. I'll just use the steering, then he will handle the pedals, this thing. I was like, oh, so I went to drive with him for like 3 classes. It was fun. We were talking, and he was just shitting on automatic cars. Like, why do you want to move to automatic? Why not stay with manual? And I told him that, I explained to him that it's not coming. I can feel myself that it's not coming natural to me. And from my experience, I like automatic cars better. It's straightforward, and I'm not this person that can do multiple things at the same time. It's just too much. It's overwhelming, and I know my capacity. So I decided that's what I wanted to do. And it was like, yeah, it just kept shitting on it, and we just had fun over the next lessons. Then I stopped going to class for like 2 weeks till my new Folia Rosa came out. But I and my husband were still going out sometimes with the old Folia Rosa to practice in an industrial area where there's nobody. Then eventually my Folia Rosa came out, and I started going for classes with the new teacher. Now, the new instructor was, at least to me, has been a nightmare. I don't know if it's because I forcefully stayed with the fact that I wanted to do learn with a manual car. I don't know if it's because I'm disturbing his classes with the motorbike student and is enjoying them more. I don't know what it is, but it was not, it hasn't been the best experience, at least for me. And before I get on with the whole experience thingy, the second series of lessons, before I got there, I stumbled upon something. I was reflecting a lot, and thinking about me, my person, and how I tend to react. I'm not the most patient person in the room. I was thinking about it, and I stumbled upon a video on YouTube, and like, it was the most amazing thing that happened in that season. So this is the pastor, this pastor right here. I was passing through social media and I found her, and she was sharing this testimony of her mother. She was talking so highly of her mother, and how her mother was so intelligent. Even if she didn't go to school, the woman had class. Even if she who she was. And she shared this story of how she and her siblings would go out and beat other people's children. Then they will run back home. So one day they beat someone else's child, and ran home, entered the house. House is the safe place. But the mother of these kids entered their home and beat them. She said the thing was that their mother had this chair that she would always sit on, and the chair was close to the door. So if you enter the house, you will see her mother first, seated by the side. That this one entered, beat the children, and walked out. That her mother did not say anything. I was like, which kind of mama be that one? That in my mind, like which kind, like what are we talking about here? She said her mother did not say nothing. And I was waiting to see, to hear, to know where this thing was going to. And she said, when her father got back from work that day, her mother went to her husband and explained everything to him and said, it is because of you that have placed me in the house that I did not react. I did not react because I respect you. Now you will now go to the house of that woman and go and tell her husband that if his wife does this kind of thing again, there will be consequences. I found that to be so profound and wise. And I was like, oh my God, like that is grace. With my pepper body, as my friend would say. That woman will not leave. That woman will not leave that apartment. I will not get the house, I will do the rest. Like, I was like, Jesus Christ, Lord, I need this kind of patience. I want to be a better person. And I was praying that prayer throughout throughout that week. And yeah, that was what was going on in that season. And I went for my first lesson. It was calm. Then the second lesson with this person, and it was like the evil spirit possessed him. At everything, he was screaming, he was shouting, he was talking. He was not insulting me, but it was a very toxic, intense, anxiety-filled environment. Italian is not my first language. Screaming does not explain anything to me. You need to explain, as in explain. And it was just too much. It was crazy. The normal me will break and shout back at him, come down from the vehicle and get out. And while I was holding myself, I remembered this message. Then I remembered another event that happened that nobody said anything to me in my family, but I'm not stupid. I could tell that it really hurt my family, the way I reacted, and they felt sad, but they did not confront me about it. And I didn't want them to ever feel that way around me again. I'll just be swallow some things to make them feel comfortable, but I'll always voice my opinion. So I remember that event, and I was like, shut up. I was just driving, and what happened was that when I'm angry, I block the noise. I can't hear you. I cannot hear you. The people in my house know. You want to talk to me like a normal person. The moment you start being agitated, the first question I'll come, why are you being confrontational? Why are you raising your voice? Calm down. That's the first time. And in my house, they know they are to calm down immediately, because the next thing is me zoning you out, like zoning out. And if you ask me something pertaining what you're saying, I'm like, what did you say? And that's because I didn't hear you. I think that stems from the fact that I experienced certain things growing up, and one of my coping mechanisms was like shutting everybody out and just existing in my own bubble. So if I'm not screaming back at you, I'm in my bubble and I cannot hear anything you're saying. So that was what happened. I blocked him out, and for the next 2 lessons, I didn't learn anything. It was just a screaming match. So I went home and I didn't talk to anybody about it, because again, I was feeling like I overreact. So let me just contain it. I don't want it to be like I have problem with people, every person I meet, or you understand, you don't want to always be the problem, no? So I just locked up. I locked up until one time that he said he's not going to be available, but he can come home to pick me. Then we'll go for our lesson. So that day, he said he was going to come at a certain time. I left the house. I was in the venue and was waiting for him. I was in the cold. It was very windy. I did not see this man. Out of the blue, he came with another vehicle to pick me. He said we are going to go to another place to pick the vehicle that I will use for practice. And he came, he picked me, and first of all, he is a terrible model given what his job is. I remember getting to the car. He said I should not use seatbelt. Why shouldn't I use seatbelt? He said I shouldn't use seatbelt, and yeah, then he was driving like a drunk, crazy person. We got to the place where we needed to switch cars. I got into the vehicle and I was driving, and the screaming started. And I just did not. I was so anxious, like it just felt like I was in a tunnel. I could not hear what he was saying. I was just saying, and I was going. At the point I needed to slow down the car, and the vehicle was just going. I was like, increase the speed, and I was going, and like it was terrible. And the crazy thing is that I was not learning anything. Because he was explaining nothing. He was just shouting. And then we got to my area, and I was supposed to do like a roundabout. I did a roundabout. We were going, and his voice just started shouting again. What was he shouting for? What was he saying? I swear I don't know, because I zoned him out. I could not tell what he was talking about. I can't tell you that this is precisely what he was saying. And that was scary. That was very, very scary, because it's just as if I was a zombie behind the steering, and I just kept hearing this screaming. It became louder, and the next thing, I thought I'd killed somebody. Next thing I did was like just press the brake, and the vehicle stopped, and the screaming increased. And the next thing, someone was honking at the back, and I was like, don't stop here. Oh my God, it was a disaster. And at that point, I got really mad. At this point, stop shouting, you are not saying anything to me. Stop shouting. He was trying to explain himself. I just locked up, because if I continue, I'm going to, you understand, when you keep talking, you're going to say things you're not supposed to say out of anger. Then we got to my area, and we got to this place where he needed to stop. When he stopped, I was like, do you realize the danger you put us in at that junction? And I was like, I thought I killed someone with the way you are shouting. You are not explaining anything. You are just shouting. I left the vehicle. I jumped the door, took my purse, and I started leaving. It was like, Bona Jonathan to me. And I was like, Bona Jonathan, I just left. I got to the junction of my house. I started heading for another driving school, because I was done. At this point, I was done. Because I've not spoken to my family, I didn't even think about them at this point. I was just done. I was going to another driving school. And my phone rang. It was my husband. Hey, what's up? Where are you? I was like, around. I was like, we are waiting for you. I want to go for an appointment. I was talking about the logistics of the key. I was like, I was already halfway to the driving school I wanted to go to, and I was like, okay, I'm coming home. So I went back home. I dropped the key. They asked me how was it. He asked me how was it, and I was like, telling him about the screaming match. Like, I'm done. I'm going to another driving school, and I was like, don't register for another driving school. We're going to talk to him. I told him I could not learn like this. I just could not. I could not. Every class is a pain. I can't. It was too much. Then my husband called him. Called my husband, tell my husband that he will not be available, blah blah blah. My husband used the opportunity to tell him that please don't yell at her. Do not yell at her. If you yell at her, she becomes more angry and she zones you out. She filters you out. She can't hear you. And they had that discussion. Then the next class, my father-in-law now came with me and talked to him face to face. I was like, don't scream at her. Don't shout at her. Explain. Talk to her. She would understand and know what to do. But you are screaming. You are not teaching her. She's blocking you out. So you are literally talking to yourself. And keep in mind that she's behind the steering. So to get results with her, you have to be calm. So the next class, he was very calm. He was on phone. He was telling somebody that he was on phone. Then when we were driving, it was on phone. I was telling somebody that I reported him, that not to shout. I really did not care at this point, because now I can hear him. It was not a hostile environment. I could hear him. I could hear everything. I was aware of everything happening in the vehicle. And this brings me to something that I studied during the practice, about how your emotions can actually affect you as a driver, not just drugs. If you are anxious, if you are feeling high emotion, it's better to stay away from the steering. And I experienced that firsthand. And yeah, he taught me that day. It was very calm. I enjoyed it. And I went back home. I told my husband like it was better. I really enjoyed it. The next time I was there, the first guy that taught me saw me and he was telling me, how is it going? I told him that it's going okay. And it was like, don't focus on the teacher, focus on driving the vehicle. And that brought me to understand that the other teacher has already talked to this teacher about the experience and how everything went. I didn't care. My own is that don't treat me like shit. And the crazy thing, another thing about not knowing how, like, I need to up my Italian. Thank God I'm already working on that. Not knowing how to speak. If you can talk to somebody and express yourself in a language that you are good in, the person will get the points. You understand? But in a language that you'll be emming your explanation, like you'll not be eloquent to express yourself and share how you feel, and it's not a very fine thing. So eventually, we got to the driving thing, and after class one day, the man said, you've completed your 6 hours compulsory training, and I think you're ready to write the examination. Like, what? Ready to write which examination? Again, I'm this person that like being in control. I don't mind paying for 100 classes to get to that point where I feel like it's safe, where I feel confident in doing it by myself. And his response was like, you will never get to that point. You will learn in the process. But for me, I feel like I want to learn it to a point where I feel like I am safe, and the people that I'll be taking care of, or will be carrying or transporting through my vehicle, will be safe. I don't feel that safety yet. I don't feel in control yet. But he said, yeah, I'll write the examination. I said no, and I told him I'm writing the examination in March. And was like, March? No, March is too far. I don't know why he wants to. The man is always pushing for me to do things his way. And I was like, no. It was like, okay, let's see what will happen in December. And I'm like, okay, December could be good, but we have to do back to back lessons, because I need to be in full control of and feel confident. Because when you have confidence doing something, you enter an examination hall with that confidence that you know what you are doing, that you are in control. Because my aim at the end of the day is not to get the patente. My aim is to be a good and a decent driver. I know I can never get to the stage. Not I can never. With practice, I'll get to the stage. But I feel like my husband is a very, 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 very good driver, and I want to be able to get to that level. I know it came with experience, but I want my starting point to be decent enough that anybody I'm transporting is comfortable to ride with me. So we were still talking about the December thing, and he said towards the end of October, he said there will be no classes throughout November because he needs to prepare students for motorbike examination. And I was like, okay, so I've already settled for my husband that okay, we'll be practicing by ourselves. I really like it when my husband teaches me. He's so patient, he explains it well, I understand things, and on the road things happen with other people that I see reasons why the advice is giving me is very valuable. So I already settled, okay, now November no classes, December I will push for no classes because December is family time. I have things to do, I have a life I need to prepare for Christmas. And me, I was even thinking January, let's start January. And one day, I was still talking to my husband about the whole thing. I was just lying in my husband's office, waiting for him to come meet me. Let's banter. My husband went. He came back, and he said, "Don't be agitated." I was like, "What is don't be agitated? What's happened?" He said, "Just calm down. I want to tell you something." I was like, "What is it?" Very, very confusing to me. I was like, "What is it?" And he said, you've been scheduled to write the examination on a certain date in November." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And you have a slot for 6 classes before the examination. Yeah, so that raised another heavy anxiety. Are you kidding me? You told me that it's going to be a certain date, a certain period. Then you went on to fix an examination without my consent. Then called me, "Hey, your examination date is fixed," and you expect me to be calm. That was a blow to my stomach. I was so angry. And this examination cost 250 euros. That's aside the money we've already paid before. Why? Why did you have to do it without my consent? You can call me and say there's a slot for the 25th or the 28th or the 30th. Would you want to write in any of these days? No. He went on, he fixed the examination. Person will say it will not be chanced all through November. He created 6 slots for me to practice before the examination. Since I had that news, my heart has been in my mouth, and he advised that I no longer use my vehicle to practice because my vehicle is bigger in size than the one I'm using to practice. My husband thinks it's messing with me because I'm learning 2 different cars, so the dimensions are different and I know one car more than the other, so let me stick with the car I'm using to practice to write the examination. So yeah, I have to write the examination and I don't even feel ready. I don't feel confident. Then tell me we're doing this practice, and I think on the fourth practice he said, these are the list of questions you need to study. There's like a list of questions that the examiner will ask you on the examination day before you do the practical exam. So that examination will be done first. If you fail that examination, they will never take you for practice. But if you're able to answer the question, then you can move on to the next stage. And yeah, that's where I found myself. It's very, very heavy, and I don't even know how to turn, where to turn at this point. So this got me really mad. Like, my anxiety went up. I've been talking to people, talking to friends. Like, shout out to my cousin. That man is amazing. He's amazing. I feel like he's the only man in my family that knows the women of our house. Like, if we are doing our thing, he'll like just give space because he knows that there's nothing will tell us that will calm us down. I don't really our man want to. But he was able to give me a bit of like hope. He told me I failed the examination. He lives here in Italy. I failed the examination twice. I passed the 3rd time. I explained everything to him, and he said, don't join another driving school, just calm down, try, you will pass, let your husband teach you. But at this point my husband cannot teach because I can't use that car. And that gave me hope. I called my girlfriend. Like, seriously, I'm very stressed in this season. Called my girlfriend. I was telling her about it, and she was like, calm down, don't worry, you'll be fine, just calm down. I failed. I don't know why people telling me that they failed is consoling me because I don't know, it's making me feel like it's okay to fail, but because I'm not used to failing, I'm seeing it as a very huge deal. It's a big problem for me to fail. I prefer to be average than fail. I'm comfortable in average than failing. And yeah, they've been very supportive. I've gotten so much support, and it's almost time to write the examination, and I don't feel like doing anything. I don't feel like studying. I don't feel like, I'm just worried. I've been feeling so sick, anxious, like it's crazy. Another worry is that if anything goes wrong and I fail this examination, that means I have to pay another 250 euros. I have to go through more classes with him to write the examination. I do not like that. I do not like that. Makes me really, really worried. So that has been like the crazy that has been happening behind the scene. If you have any questions for me, let me know in the comments. I'm here. I was going to mute myself, or let's just put up the question tag. No need to mute myself. Yeah, if you have questions about the whole Patente thing, let me know. You can drop your questions in the comments. And you might be like, why are you doing this live? This is a coping mechanism for me. When I'm very stressed, I just look for a way to talk. Because if I'm, excuse me, if I am worried and stressed, I tend to talk a lot. I talk to my people, and sometimes I feel like I'm stressing them too much. I'm making them more anxious. My husband has been an amazing support. Like, so it's like, how are you doing? I feel very anxious. I can't imagine what you're going through. Like, he's always there, like to give that support. It's very, very kind and sweet. And yeah, I feel like I'm not ready. But the man said, I'm ready. And I don't trust him because the last time he said I was ready, I wasn't. So everybody's surprised that I don't trust him. I'm here to answer a couple of questions that I think might be valuable. Okay. Give me a moment to arrange this so everything looks sleek. Okay, so would you advise me to attend a driving school? It depends on the kind of learner you are. You know your capacity. You know what you need to like survive and win. So based on that, determine what will work best for you. Are you the kind of person that needs someone to push you to do something, or you can do it by yourself? All you need to do or feel is being ready and confident. So based on that, decide how you want to go about the driving school, because the driving school comes with a time frame. It's not forever. Being registered or subscribed to a driving school does not mean that it's forever and you can stay there for 2 years learning until when you get it. 6 months is all you have, and within the 6 months you can try it twice. So I would say decide on that yourself. What kind of person you are? How bad do you need this? Driving school is not cost effective. If I had known, if I had a say with this thing, I wouldn't have gone to a driving school. It was a gift, so it was like, hey, you now have this, and a surprise. And this is like the first unpleasant surprise I've gotten in a while. So I would say ask yourself the questions first, like what kind of learner are you? Do you actually need these people to hold your hands, or you can do it yourself? You just need a good system. I was able to answer most questions by myself, and I think I talked about that in depth in the previous video, so you could go pursue that. Let's see another one. Now about Nate. I've talked about Nate in the other video. I can't remember if I talked about it extensively, but what I would say is that Nate is a very good option. It is the premium version of Guida Evi, and I've introduced this to many of my friends and sisters, and they are really enjoyed it. To register, imagine subscription for a driving school is like 200 euros. For Nate, you start the subscription of like 9.90. I remember my friend registered when it was like 6.90, another registered when it was like 7.90, and I mean €7.90. I remember telling one, and she was like, you mean 990 euros? 990 euros. I say no, €9.90. It's a good bargain to get access to the premium version, go for classes, and they'll pursue you to ask if you want to do your medical and other things that comes with learning, having your driver's license. I know someone that did her medical by herself. She went to NATE, did her medical by herself, went to Amortizazione to like pursue an examination date, but she was not able to get an examination date. Then she went back to Nate. Then Nate hooked her up. She just had to pay a token. I think she paid like 300 or 350 for them to handle everything. The rest that she needed to do, and yeah, she was able to get everything fixed. So Nate is a very good option, and I like the fact that you have different teachers that can guide you on how to approach this, and they are really, really rooting for you. So it's a good driving school. It's a good driving school. Many night driving schools don't like this Nate thing. Even the one I'm going to now, they don't like it. But they're registered to Nate. I think many driving schools, yes, and you can also do driving practice with Nate. So because Nate is connected to different driving schools, if you pay them, so I pay 40 euros per hour. With Nate, you pay 50 euros. I think the difference is their gain. So they'll tell you the school to go to do your driving practical. So you have to pay for the compulsory 6 hours. So yes, Nate is it's a very good option. So one, I would say you don't sleep on, you save money, and you get the results you desire. It's a win-win for everybody. So and you have the time. It's not that somebody will call you and be forcing you to go and write the examination. When you decide, you decide. So people pay for the full package at once. I will not advise you to pay for the full package at once. It's very expensive. If I'm not mistaken, they are collecting when it's not on deal, it's like 800 and something. When it's on deal, I don't know, I think it's like 300. But pursue it and try to learn of the different ways you can cut costs. But Net is a good option if you ask me. It's a very good option. Now, best practices and things to keep in mind when practicing driving. As a language teacher, I can confirm to you that all students are not the same. I cannot treat an adult student the same way I would treat a teenager. Neither can I treat a teenager the same way I treat a kid. And that's because these students have different characteristics. They have a baseline. Yes, you might find one that is different, that is the exception, but there's a baseline. You know the normal character of a young student, and in Italy or in advanced world, in the advanced world, you start to learn to drive at a very young age, around 16. If I'm not mistaken, now I'm mixing up. 16, 18. Well, this is quiz question, but it's skipping my head. But yeah, at a very young age, you can learn to drive. Now, at that age, you are still adventurous. You are go 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 go. But when you get to my age, you are more closed. You are not open to doing those very, very adventurous things. You want to do more subtle, more mature enjoyment. You don't find pleasure in that rush, or yeah. And it also depends on your sex. There's some things that men or the masculine people really enjoy that is not fascinating to the feminine. So yeah, a lot of factors contribute to you learning these things, and I feel most teachers do not, or some teachers do not put this into consideration when teaching their students. They do not consider the person before them. Their own is just to do and go, but the person before you meet different people. There are different barriers. In my case, age, I am not risk taking. I am scared. I was very, very scared in the beginning. Super scared of hurting someone. I was not thinking about, I was behind the steering, I was not thinking of driving. I was thinking of not hurting someone. I was thinking of not hitting something. I was thinking of the person in the car. I was worried for everything. And this affected my results. So I would say keep that in mind, and it's okay if you are scared. It's not something, but it is a good thing to be scared, because at the end of the day, a vehicle is not just for flex. It is a machine, and many people have gone through this means. It will not be our case. In the name of Jesus, I'm a Christian. Deal with it. Now, I don't wish that on you, but you have to keep in mind this the risk that comes with this thing. And I dwelt so much on the risk, and I think a younger person would not even care. A younger person would not even care about this. So I think these things contribute to it, and it's okay to be scared. As I said, it's okay to do things wrong so that you can get the chance to do it correctly. It is okay. And I remember I got to a point during the lessons where I felt like I'm not getting it. Am I dumb? Am I stupid? What is wrong with me? I'm good in these things. Why am I not good in this one? What is wrong with me? And when I started talking to people, I started learning that, girl, you're not the first. You're not the first. Like, you feel these things you're feeling, it is valid. You're not crazy. It's okay. And hearing that, like, people felt it over and over and over again before they got here, like, it's somewhat consoling. Like, you're not alone. People have gone through this, and it's okay. It is okay. It is okay to make mistakes. It is okay to be wrong. Be wrong so that you get corrected. You get corrections. Okay, so it will be scary. It will be scary. You are outside your element. You are outside your elements. It is new for you. This is not you. This is not your nature. This is not the normal you. And now you have to do this thing. It's normal. So I'll say, I'm holding your hands and I'm saying, go, go, go. I wish you success with it. And I pray you get to the point that you can come celebrate and tell me, yeah, I got the patente. For now, I would have to end this live. I'll see you in another live, and I'm so happy I was able to do this. Like, it made me feel so happy and light-hearted. As I said, I've been very, very down for like 2 to 3 months straight because of this stress, and I just thank God for the people around me that like shared their own story with me. And when I started complaining about my teacher, they were like, you are not crazy. It is wrong for them to talk to you like this or act like this. And they started sharing. I'm a girlfriend. I was talking to her. She was like, my own was worse. They were shouting. They are always shouting like crazy people. He was shouting. You just have to like firm it. Like, she said that she didn't feel, we wanted to give up, but thank God for her partner that guided her most times during the weekend, and she was able to get it eventually. I'm so glad for their advice. I talked to another friend and she was telling me that, see, I failed a lot of time, and I thank God for the teacher I got, that he was very patient with me and he was following me bumper to bumper and guiding me till I eventually got it. So yes, you will get it. You will get it. I'm assuring you. I'm holding your hands. You will get it. I've not gotten it, but I know I will get it. I'll do what I need to do to get it, and I'll be back to share my own experience with you and my testimony with you. And I hope by the time I come back, you said you'll be sharing your testimony. I will share testimony together and do testimony party. But yeah, these people has given me so much faith and hope. I remember my husband was also telling me that on the examination day it was terrible. He felt really bad. And another thing I must celebrate is the fact that I wrote the examination once. I didn't write it twice. Everybody, anytime I say I passed the examination, the first thing they ask me, how many times? This is my first try. I'm like, oh my God. Like, even my husband is Italian. He said he wrote it twice. you failed the first one. So it's something to be proud of. Yes, I did one more to go. And yeah, I can do this. I can do this. I'm so glad I did this live. This is the first time I'm affirming that I can actually do this. I've been so down, and I remember coming upstairs and I was like, why are you all made up? You look different. You look, I was like, yes, I did makeup to calm my nerves. Like, since you've been keeping your face like this and scaring everybody, now that you want to go in front of a camera, you have the makeup on. Yes, I did the makeup. I got like a bit of therapy, a bit of calmness in my heart, and talking to the camera right now makes me feel very, 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 very happy. Now, thank you all for joining. I have just one person watching. Thank you for the like. Yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, you feel free to ask me. Give me a thumbs up. Just say hi in the comments. That would mean a lot. I'll just hang in here. I said I was gonna leave like in 2 hours mark. It's already 18 minutes past the 2 hours mark I talked about. But yeah, I'm enjoying this so much. I still need to get to my material to read for practice for the oral part. Oral, why did I say it like that? The spoken tests. Yes, before the practice, then I have to meet up with some courses I'm doing something on data analysis, cybersecurity, web design, front end and back end. I think I'm going to stick with web design because I've been doing web design for like since 9 years. I've been in Italy. I've been doing web design, I've been doing graphic design, and it's something I'm good at. That's the front end, so it's time to do the back end. That's an opportunity that just fell on my lap out of nowhere. I think I'll come back to tell you about it because it's an opportunity that you can take advantage of if you're a black woman here in Italy and you're trying to navigate the system. This is a great opportunity. I'm doing it for free. I got the opportunity to get this organization to like sponsor me. So yeah, let's see. So there's nothing for now. I just have to mute, stop this live. Thank you for joining me. I would see you very soon, and hopefully there's a testimony. And if not, I don't really mind. I'll do it again. I'll do it over and over and over till I get the result that I desire. Bye.